Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Loser Podcast. I'm your host, Sticky Beans, Sergio Moreno, Dante9345, whatever floats your fucking boat. B? It's Friday. Sorry, I took a sip of water. It's Friday, November 8th, 2019. How you guys doing? How was your week? Are you feeling good? Was it shit? Was it great? Was it the same old fucking nihilistic things you do every other week? Well, good for you. You survived, and hopefully you got a plan to make it better for the fucking next week. And if you don't, well, weed exists. I'm not gonna tell you to go on heroin because I don't have a license to do that. But I hear it does stuff. But yeah, how you guys doing, man? I've been great. I'm still kind of coming down off my sickness that I had like 2 weeks ago because my immune system's just terrible. And this fucking weather isn't helping. Which, by the fucking way, I mean, it only takes simple science, but I called it. It's going to be a fucking cold ass winter this year. And it is cooking up. I mean, here in fucking San Diego, it happened within like. I, I want to be as drastic to say that I think it happened within a fucking day. Where one day it was like 80 degrees, and then the next day it was 70, but the winds felt like they were 50. I mean, it was fucking wild. And now the majority is like it feels cold all the time, so. I mean, that's great. I prefer wearing pants. I have all these great sweaters that I own and flannels. I mean, it makes my winter wardrobe, usable now. Because that's exactly the point, right? Look at me fucking talking about winter wardrobes like I'm fucking gay. I'm probably a little gay. But dude, fucking speaking of San Diego, Jesus fucking Christ. What happened to this beautiful, calm city? I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember living here back in the day, like a couple years ago when I used to drive around. Like I've lived here a long time, my whole life. But I remember when I used to drive around a lot, it seemed like this city was dead. I remember growing up, I always wondered, I'm like, how? How is San Diego this big old fucking tourist attraction? Everybody wants to come here. I'm like, has anybody driven around Chula Vista? Has anybody gone to Logan? Has anybody even really seen how bad the rat problem is in fucking La Jolla? I'm just saying, there's a lot more to look at than just thinking, oh, there's a couple beaches here. But evidently, that's what I was told. It's just a bunch of fucking beaches here that people don't get. Oh, and the weather. The weather, I think, as a young person, I didn't understand either. I was like, well, fucking the weather here's whatever, right? It's fucking normal weather. But that's the point, I guess. I guess a lot of other places have fucking ridiculous ass weather, which I feel like San Diego's getting now because with global warming, everything's just getting hotter and colder and just, all that fucking sweet ecosystem jazz. But traffic here is fucking ridiculous now. What happened to this old barren city that I used to complain about saying nobody lives here? There's like nothing to do. Now, I regret it. I regret ever opening my fucking mouth. There, you happy I said it? Sorry, universe. Sorry, karma. I take back all my wishes about wanting San Diego to be a cool fucking lively city. There's traffic everywhere we go. And I live in a part of the city where there was barely traffic because there was barely people living there. But since the fucking population has risen here, because all these fucking assholes, I'm not going to say specifics of why they moved here because I really don't know, but fuck you if you did move here in mass exodus because you gave us traffic, you fucking... Yeah, you know what? It's fucking traffic. And on top of that, they're different drivers. I feel like there's a bunch of fucking LA cunts living here now who want to treat our fucking freeways like they're LA. Well, because they're used to what shitty traffic in here since it's still traffic, but you can like pocket it around if you're smart enough. They fucking drive like they're a bunch of maniacs. People, Maseratis, Teslas, cars which weren't even that popular here got popular. Look, I don't want to sound like I'm crazy, even though I know I am, but I'm an observant fucking autistic fuck, and I know when I see the differences around me. I can guarantee you that there is a traffic uppage. There's a fucking LA cunt exodus. And, yeah. I literally, like, I almost refuse to drive now. Because before, like I told you, you could leave anywhere from 8 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in San Diego. Anywhere. Well, I won't say anywhere, but in specific locations, especially around where I live, I could just drive what felt like anywhere, and there was no traffic, barely people were anywhere because the majority of people were either A, in fucking their job, or B, all the kids are in school. But now I leave my fucking house at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 10 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday fucking day, and people are driving around like they have something to fucking do. Bitch, I know damn well if you're in your car at a 10 or 11 a.m., you are either not at work, you have the day off, or you're gonna go fucking be an idiot. God, it just, and look, I get it. I'm there in the car along with them, right? But I've lived here my whole fucking life. If I want to go drive to put in gas, get my car washed, go pick up something that I haven't bought in 2 weeks because I've been working, I should be allowed to do that without having to deal with these fucking assholes. Fucking, oh God. See, I was even wondering to myself, I was like, how long? How long am I going to last without fucking getting angry at something, without fucking making it political, or just because it's an inevitability with me. It's just it's who I fucking am. I am an angry fucking just human being. But like, I went to Costco because I hate Costco, to be honest with you. I know, big fucking what is it? I can't even think of the word just because that's how fucking aggravated I am. But I really hate Costco. I used to not mind it growing up. I used to actually kind of like it sometimes because, again, it was at a time when the city was so fucking dead that I would just go to Costco just to do grocery shopping for the house just because there's nothing to do. But I guess that's part of the problem now. But now with an influx of people, you just can't do that. People are doing, like, I went to Costco the other day because we ran out of fucking water, toilet paper, all this shit. I needed to go pick it up. And I did not want to. Believe me, every part of me just wanted to say, fuck it. I'll go to Walmart. I'll fucking pick up all this shit. But look, man, when you're like literally being economical, saving your money, trying to be smart about it, you can't keep making small decisions like that because, you know, in the short run, sure, because look, we pay for convenience. We don't buy anything, you know. We buy the things at the time of when they're most convenient to us. I mean, gas is so ridiculously expensive that if I have enough gas, I'll refuse to purchase it at certain areas and I'll go somewhere else. But if I'm low on gas and there's a couple gas stations around me and they're all $5 fucking, what am I gonna do? I have to fucking it's convenient for me to go get it there before my car fucking runs out in search of some other gas station, right? And that's what I fucking say about Costco. Because I could have bought all those things at Walmart, still taking a good amount of time because Walmart's another one that's slowly getting just bigger and fucking bigger. Even though they made there's three. There's 3 giant Walmarts around my general vicinity. Hold on, give me a second. Sorry about that. My fucking sickness came in and I had to just cough it out. But there are like 3 what is considered super center fucking Walmarts in my general vicinity. And they're all always full. I mean, it amazes me. It amazes me how many fucking people, you know what? It's an overpopulation thing, right? Because people in this day and age are just ridiculous consumers. They will go out and get ungodly things that they need. And again, you know, I'm not one to talk. I remember when I first got out of high school and I was single, and you know, at that point you have so much money as relative to what you really need to pay for that I bought so much clothes. I bought a bunch of fucking anime stuff, and I still have all of it. It's not like I got rid of these, and even the shirts that I bought, which I couldn't even bring myself to fully give away, I gave them to my fucking brother because at least I can still see him. But you know, at least I kept the stuff. But I know what it's like to unneedlessly buy shit, you know, that you don't need. But when you're doing it, I made this fucking point last week. But anyway, let's fucking get on topic. Let me. That's as good as I can breathe. I could either go to Walmart, right, and then buy all the groceries I need there, or go to Costco. But it is 100% more economical for me to spend less at Costco, get double the stuff because it all comes in bulk, and that's it, right? You're getting fucking double the stuff and you're paying way less, as opposed to Walmart where I'll get the same stuff in half of it and they'll charge me fucking every fucking tax they want. But anyway, going to Costco here, and I'm sure it's that all over, like this all over the country, it's a fucking nightmare to find parking. I spent 20 minutes fucking driving around this little fucking parking lot where people would fucking steal spots, cut you off, honk at you. I had to hold myself from not getting out of my car and just ripping everybody's fucking toenails off before them and then throwing their mother in a ditch. I mean, I was fucking irritated. And eventually I found the spot. It was fine. And then I went into the fucking Costco and oh my God, walking inside the Costco when it's that busy is like dealing with traffic, except they're not in their fucking cars and you have less reason to not murder them. People will fucking walk with their carts in the middle of these big ass lanes, blocking people behind them. And because we live in such an antisocial, fucking selfish, generation, country, whatever, grouping you want to put it in, people won't say anything. There are three groups of people, three camps of people that you will 100% see at Costco whenever they want to get around somebody. They will either just follow behind them and wait for an opening. They will create their own opening by fucking just not talking to them. Or they will just go some other distinct route. I mean, what is so hard about going, oh, excuse me, ma'am, you're kind of in the way. Don't be rude about it. I'm not saying make a scene. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying when you allow these fucking inconsiderate douchebags to fucking own this Costco like it's theirs because you're too afraid to have some type of social interaction, go fuck yourself. You're making this whole place worse for us because you're a little bitch. Me, I don't give a fuck. I will go into Costco, and if somebody's in my way, and I'm not in a ridiculous sense, but if they're overtly in the way and they're not doing anything about it because they're oblivious because they're trying to check out how much Dino Nuggets cost for $8, I'll be like, excuse me, ma'am, you're kind of in the way. Can I squeeze through? And she's like, oh. And most times they'll be cool. They'll be like, oh, I'm sorry about that, Sonny. Let me just scoot this on over. And I'll be like, oh, thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate that. Boom! Fucking wipe your hands off of that shit. You're done. And now that lady has that little thing where she's like, I got to get out of the way. And maybe more people will tell her. I don't know. Have I ever had a bad experience with that? No, I haven't had bad experiences. I think people are just scared to have a social interaction, which is fucking. It's what's happening with us though. The technology, the way people act. I mean, people don't think that. People don't think that the technology and the media around us has like an influence like that, but it really does. I think there's something. It's a real mental deficiency, mental illness. I don't even know how to label it, but it seems like people this day and age really love just being depressed, complaining about it, posting about it, because it's what's the thing right now. I mean, I think a part of it has to do that, we came born into this shitty world with already drastic effects that we can't change. So there's almost like this somber tone that a lot of these 20-year-olds, carry along with them. But instead of, I don't know, using that fucking depression for something a bit more helpful, they just use it to be sad, stay home, watch Netflix, watch Hulu, post about it, get high, get drunk, which is nothing wrong about that. Some days on my day off, I'll stay home, watch Hulu, get high, get drunk, and that's it. And maybe I'll be depressed and maybe I won't. But the point is I don't make a habit of that. I wake up in the morning, I do my best to go to the gym. I mean, hell, that's what I'm going to do right after this podcast. I do my best to fucking get whatever I want to do creatively done that day. Even a little bit. Little by little, you have to do stuff that you really enjoy and gets you going, because if you don't, you will never live a happy life. If you want to get stuck in this fucking cycle of being alone and hating yourself and hating the world about it because of blah, 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 and you're not doing anything to change it, I mean, that's on you. Again, I'm not one to talk. I'm a fucking hypocrite, right? I will have my depression days and all that. But you know what? I do my best to not let it get the best of me. Because my whole life, that's what I did. My whole life, I let all that bad shit get the best of me. And I let it get me in horrible situations. I let it burn bridges. I mean, when you let life beat the shit out of you, which it has to sometimes or else you won't learn, but if you let it beat the shit out of you for everything and you don't stand up for yourself, in which you should take life in your own hands, it only gives you more problems, man. It really, really does. And again, I'm still learning that. I'm not perfect, but you put in a movie, you go out to the movies, you get some drawing done, maybe you write how you feel in a journal, or I don't know. People are into so many different stuff. I mean, it impresses me the things that we can do today with our technology that people don't even realize. I mean, I know there's a whole joke now and it's way oversaturated, but all these up and coming rappers that started coming out when I was like in high school, that's really crazy when you think about it. Because it took virtually zero to no money for some of them to get started up, as compared to when you really want to start it out. When you really wanted to start out in the game, right? Now you just go to Amazon, buy yourself an Amazon Choice fucking mixer, you get your recorder, and you just find a nice place to record, because mics these days, you can get really good ones that won't pick up background noise. And it won't be perfect. You're not going to sound like fucking Snoop Dogg in a goddamn studio. That's a completely different sound quality. But you can get by just enough doing the bare minimum and somehow make a name for yourself, because we have fucking social media that connects us all, but it really just disconnects us. Where you can, expose yourself like that, And I'm pretty sure that's going to go away soon. I mean, didn't you hear that YouTube's going to demonetize 90% of creators by 2020? If that is even remotely true, that's it. That is the end of YouTube. I mean, we've talked about the end, and it's happened already, right? The beginning of the end for YouTube was back against the initial adpocalypse. I mean, the infrastructure change, the way people created their content change, and it felt more like TV. It felt like we were getting these fucking, what'd you say? How'd you say that? These generically cut, there's a better word, but like these manufactured videos, which some people got it down great. Like I think Uber Hacker Nova, the way he live streams and then just puts out chunks 40, 50 minutes, that's great. He's entertaining enough, and he usually has some editing thrown in there. But I'm talking about these fucking videos where these people will just fucking go in front of a camera and do nothing. But I guess it's always been that way, right? It's just they're not earning money. But I guess it hurts the creative people who really tried on YouTube, because, there was a golden age of the internet. There was 100% a golden age of the internet, and if you didn't enjoy it, you will never get it back. Because net neutrality wasn't a thing. Fucking, the FCC didn't pay attention to anybody. And somehow, YouTube was paying these people with whatever fucking money they got. I don't know. But you could do whatever you want. You could curse, you could be racist, you could fucking be sexually exploitive, and you could still get these monetized videos. And it was this free content that was infinite to the user at the time. I mean, you had things like Smosh, Machinima, fucking Inside Gaming. I didn't watch PewDiePie, but there was a PewDiePie point at the time. And I think even earlier than that, it was like, dude, it was ridiculous what you could fucking watch on YouTube, and how you could just throw your life away. And you know what? I think that's a huge downfall of social media, even though I'm praising it in a way right now. Where, yeah, I can't imagine how I threw away, I think, middle school through all of high school. I think I spent 40% of my time on YouTube on my iPod, constantly watching videos, because, again, there was, like, infinitely free, amazing content. And, hold on, give me a second. Sorry about that. Hopefully that'll be the last one. But, yeah, I threw away, like, a lot of my school years just playing video games and watching YouTube and, whatever miscellaneous stuff you could throw in there with the other percentiles. And again, everything's great in moderation, but I think I probably shouldn't have done that. I could have done so much more for myself in those times, and it's not like I'm sitting here regretting them, because, life is life. But, that's just a prime example of how, one, I lived through a golden age where you could have just this, it was all blatantly good content. Everybody had a section. Everybody had a sector. And it was really weird, because at this time, YouTube was kind of divided in a way. If you liked gaming, there was a certain sector of YouTube that you watch. There were makeup people. There were vloggers. There were prank channels. What else was even big at that time, dude? Smosh was big. They were like a skit channel. But then, I think it was after the apocalypse where it seemed like YouTube became a unison, where like people just kind of saw all the same recommended videos. People were almost subscribed to the same people. And I think it's because YouTube just became a bit more popular. And I don't even know how I'm just getting on this ridiculous like information dump. But yeah, dude. YouTube was wild back in the day, and so was the internet. It was just completely different. The shit you could see. Dude, I remember there was a time where conspiracy theory videos, and I'm talking before like the top 10s or the In case you were wondering, or the but. There were these early conspiracy theory videos where there were like just pictures of either whatever they were talking about or things related to that topic, and then it was text, big old blocks of text. And dude, you could look up some of the shit they would say because they were just saying blatant facts in some videos, and that freaked me out. But I remember one of them, they talked about fucking Epstein. If you don't know who fucking Jeffrey Epstein is, first of all, get out from under your rock and get fucking in tune with the world, goddammit. But you can look him up, but he was this very famous rich man who had owned an island, and unfortunately he would fucking steal young underage children from all over the world and bring them to this island and obviously do unspeakable things to them. And on top of that, since he was rich and famous, he had a lot of fucking connections, and there are a plethora of high-ranking different people that went over there. The ones off the top of my head, which I hope are accurate, are like Bill Clinton, fucking Bill Cosby. I think Prince Henry, dude, royal family even went there. I mean, it's fucking terrible, right? And I was hearing about this shit, reading about it on YouTube from fucking like 2011, 2012. This was 8 years ago. Back in the day when this was still just a thought, a theory. There was no way to prove it because, again, the internet was a whole different landscape. There weren't cameras everywhere. People didn't record half the shit you do. We didn't have mini helicopters we can order off of. Amazon wasn't even that fucking big at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it was a different time to be alive. And, you know, I heard about that. And then all this evidence started. Like, there was a video 2 years ago that, again, completely went under the radar where, you know, this... Don't watch it, by the way. It's a fucking traumatizing video. Like, you can't unhear or unwatch that shit. But, you know, I'll say it in a very non-vivid description. But something awful happens to a kid where it looks like they do something to him. Like, they murder him, I'm pretty sure. They murder him, all right? There's no way to say it. They kill this kid. But it's all blacked out or whatever, and you only hear the screams. But there's a man yelling in the video. And a lot of people linked up voice clips of Epstein and the man yelling in the video, and they sound fucking close. Like, not even close. Like, they sound spot on, but I'm not trying to fucking indict this supposedly dead man. Anyway, you cut to 2 or 3 years later after that video doesn't even make anything, and the FBI just randomly raids his island. We get this whole thing where he's arrested, and then they talk about the story like it was this fucking... like it just happened or whatever. And that was it. That was fucking it. It was maybe big for a week. They arrested him, yada, yada, yada. They didn't release the ledger, or the ledger's released, but they never really talked about the ledger. I mean, the news just treated this story like it was fucking Sunday morning brunch and a restaurant just opened up and they're covering it. I mean, they gave this thing no time, no importance, and no sense of passion. While they could spend 10 hours talking about how Trump should get impeached, which, newsflash, it's not going to happen because it never has and it never will, but it's just a way for them to kill 10 hours instead of fucking spending real time on a story where a man was taking other rich men to go do unspeakable things to these poor fucking children, and nobody cares. Nobody cared. Shit was gone in a week and nobody talks about it. Cut to fucking a couple days earlier, all right? This week, ABC, ABC is the subject, but Project Veritas, which I don't even know what it is, but that's what I remember who dropped it, dropped a video of a hot mic, which is the little mice that the news anchors or actors will wear on themselves. And this reporter had hers on and she didn't realize it or whatever, didn't think twice. And she sits here and complains about how 3 years ago, she had the whole Epstein story fucking cut and clean, dude. She had a witness where they had to get her and promise her they would protect her out of hiding, interview her. This lady gave her all types of information and they had cooperation from other sectors. And when she brought the story to the fucking heads at ABC, they straight up canned it. They were like, nobody knows who that guy is. Nobody's going to care. Just leave it alone. Plus, we don't even know if it's real. That's what they fucking said, dude. And this reporter, who great that she did the story. Amazing that she was able to get us evidence. But she goes on to complain more as if she's angry at the fact that her story didn't get aired instead of the fact that her boss just straight up said, ignore this fucking pedo island, this fucking pedo ring, and all these fucking ridiculous bullshit things that happen. I mean, what the fuck, dude? And again, this story doesn't get talked about. This happened this fucking week, dude. This week. And nobody cares. Why? Obviously, why nobody cares, right? They're not going to talk about it. They're not going to show it. And if it's out of sight, out of mind, how's anybody going to know? Yet, on the news, they can show Trump saying this, fucking Hillary doing that, candidates doing this, and other countries and all that to get us riled up over that. But when real shit like this that comes out in front of us happens and nobody handles it, that's it. And what? The guy got murdered in prison. And it's not for the reason you think, oh, obviously he's a pedophile. No, this man was obviously going to get murdered before he was even arrested. You know, in the sense of he knows a lot, and in the sense of like in logistical, it's like, oh, this man is a pedophile and he's a target of interest because people have notoriety of him now. So people will target him in prison. And, you know, humanitarianly, you can't do that. So he was placed under protection and in a single cell. And yet somehow, some fucking way, this man hung himself in his fucking cell. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you guys really going to sit here and fucking believe that this man who was placed under protection, 24-hour surveillance, a guard who would have to go every 15 minutes to check on him, and placed in a room that was probably made out of everything from rubber, he somehow was able to hang himself? I don't know, man. People need to talk about this shit. That's all I say. All right? I'm not trying to sit here and preach to you to fucking go and change the world, to go and somehow figure out, you know, how we're going to fix this, because I don't have the answers, but at the very least, talk about it. Nobody brings awareness to any of this. Like, you know what? I brought up this conversation at work the other day, and then the conversation blew up into a bunch of different stuff, but my friend totally reminded me of something else that, like, I had even forgot about, but the fucking Panama Papers. If you guys don't know what the Panama Papers is, I can give you, like, a rough idea, because I don't even know the full fucking depth until he was telling me a bit. But I mean, there was this whole fucking data breach, biggest data breach I think in history, and they found all these fucking celebrities, all these fucking political officials, dude, were going and pretty much doing tax evasion, which is low, right? When you think about it on a low scale. But when you think about it on a macro scale, all these people who tell us to pay our taxes and are rich and we think are somehow fucking doing their part in this country, they're not. They're fucking not. They send their money out of the country so they don't have to get it taxed and they don't have to worry about paying anything on it when it's here. Yet, we as the poor consumers have to somehow manage to pay for all these people around us, and yet they get away with that. But the Panama Papers release all that information. And on top of that, he was telling me that it talks about how countries were coordinating with each other to set up fake coups in South America, which isn't something new. You know, hiring people to start fake revolutions or, you know, just fucking chaos has always been a thing. But now we have it in writing and in paper in front of us. Nobody fucking talks about it. Hell, I'm sure some of you listening didn't even know that the Panama Papers were even a thing. And that's not your fault. It's a little bit your fault because you don't pay attention, a little bit, but it's not 100% your fault because you don't have a proper news source in front of you. You don't have anybody telling you, you know, what's going on because, you know, there's a variety of reasons. Some people just don't know at all. Some people choose to stay ignorant. Some people don't get it, or some people will just, I don't know. But anyway, that's what's in my mind right now. I mean, there's a pedophile who got to fucking do horrible things. He got away with it essentially by just getting murdered. Unless some people think he's alive, which I can fully understand, right? When you have that much money and that much power. But then they would just kill you. Why would they let, you know what? In lighter news, Terry Bogard, fucking Terry, got released for Smash, and I never played Fatal Fury growing up or for King of Fighters, but he looked cool, obviously, with my fucking weeb ass when they first talked about him. I'm like, oh, he looks wicked as shit. But he dropped November 6th, and he's fucking awesome, man. They I can't even like, because I'm not a Smash comp player. I try to be good, but I'm not that great. But he's got a lot of variety, right? He's got 2 different side specials depending on the direction. You can do his directional inputs like Ryu and Street Fighter and all that from his original game. And he's got these fucking special attacks that you can get whenever you reach a certain, like, it's awesome. And they added this new stage, bro. This fucking big ass arena. It's flat. You don't go off the map. You crack. Like, they added a bunch of new shit. And on top of that, they were able to get 50 songs from the Neo Geo era, dude. And the Neo Geo music is fucking great because if you don't know, Neo Geos are just essentially smaller arcade units. And arcade music is fucking arguably some of the best video game music of our ears to enjoy. And dude, the tracks are amazing. So pick up Terry Bogard. Honestly, it's a great fucking deal, that character pass for Smash. I mean, so many companies these days, again, the golden age of video games are dead, 100%. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. I've had this argument so many times and people just don't get it. But the PS4 library is trash, and so is the fucking Xbox One library. There are only a couple saving graces that people allow themselves to be blinded by that let them go. It was pretty good. Fucking Red Dead, fucking I can't even think here. Let me properly think. We got Red Dead, which is great. We got fucking Resident Evil 2 remake, which was great. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Overwatch, which was pretty good. Rainbow Six Siege got famous again. But even then, I would say the best game out of there is Red Dead Redemption 2. Fucking amazing. I'm not arguing that game's great, but the fact that we say the games like Overwatch and Rainbow Six and shit like that is fucking considered a fun ass game, I think we lost ourselves. Do you remember a time? I remember a time when consistently fantastic AAA games with a full story mode, a full multiplayer mode, and somehow sometimes a third mode would come in. You remember Black Ops 1? You remember Black Ops 2? You remember Borderlands 1 and 2? Do you remember fucking Skyrim? You remember Uncharted 1, 2, and 3? Do you remember the original Red Dead? Original fucking GTA 5, dude? Do you remember Fallout 3? All these games came out on one system generation, all right, that is already coming close to the same age as the PS4. You cannot tell me that the fucking batting average on the last gen wasn't 100 times better than it is on the PS4. Again, don't take it up the ass. I'm not saying For Honor isn't fun. I'm not saying fucking Sekiro isn't great. I'm not saying that Persona 5 isn't a fucking masterpiece. But they are nowhere. Persona 5 is fantastic. I would say it's top tier, but when I mean like For Honor, Overwatch, Black Ops, 4 and 3, Fighters, which is still great, they are still nowhere on the level of polishness and fucking, content and enjoyability you could get out of some of the games from the last gen. I mean, I will buy games now, full price, day they come out, and maybe play them for an hour or two, and that's it. And maybe I'll feel satisfied. I remember a time when I would buy a game and I would play it for maybe more than 30, 40 hours guaranteed. Again, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, Mortal Kombat fucking 9, dog. The Last of Us, BioShock, the whole... How are you going to sit here and fucking argue that this generation is anywhere near as good as the last one? I'm just saying the golden age of video game is done. All right, we're now in this hellscape, which brings me back to my point of why I was saying the character pass in Smash is a pretty good deal. It's $25. You get 5 characters, you get 5 maps, and you get a whole variety of songs. No guaranteed amount because you can get anywhere from 10 to 15 to 50 in a character. So you know what? If you have a fucking Smash, a Nintendo Switch with a Super Smash Brothers, I highly recommend it. Death Stranding comes out. Death Stranding comes out today. That's Hideo Kojima's new game. If you don't know who Hideo Kojima is, he's a wannabe video game director. No, I very much respect the man. He's intelligent. He's smart. He's artistic. I mean, he's one of those once in a lifetime type of creatives. But he's the guy who made the Metal Gear series. And if you played any of the Metal Gear games, you know that they're just big old cinematic movies with fun ass gameplay a good amount of the time too. I didn't like the last one, but the last one had a lot of internal problems, so I respect that. I let it end at 4 in my head. before fucking Keith Sutherland came in. But his new game, Death Stranding, which it comes from his own original studio, drops today, and I couldn't be more fucking excited for it. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick it up. I was thinking if I wanted to wait, give it some time, but I was like, I can play Terry Bogard at the same time. That's what the Switch is for. But I think I'm going to end it here. That's going to be the Loser Podcast for you today. I'm sorry if I went off on completely just benign tangents. But again, it was good to talk to you all. I love doing this. I have a great time. Hopefully, if I do get Death Stranding, I'll come back with some more opinions on fucking Norman Reedus's CGI role and Conan O'Brien somehow being in the game. But I hope you guys have a great day, a great weekend. I don't know when I'll talk to you, but hopefully it'll be soon, all right? Peace out and try not to die.